Welcome, Cleo. So like we said, is we think they're mainly active at night. Now this is actually not true. Owls species have different active times throughout the day. Now the reason for this is they all hunt the same type of prey, so they spread out through the day to catch as much as possible. The easiest way to tell when an owl is most active is to look at the color of their eyes. So Cleo over here with those beautiful orange eyes will be more active at dusk and dawn and small parts of the day. Owls with yellow eyes will be more active throughout the whole day. And then your owls with black eyes will be more active at night. Now taking a look at the top of her head, you might notice she's got these little feathers sticking off to the side. Now those feathers are known as ear tufts or false ears. Now they work off the same muscle as our eyebrows, so they can independently move them. And what owls use them for, or your eagle owls per se, is they use them for camouflage. So what Cleo over here will do, she'll sit up in a tree, she can pick them straight up, lie them down, or pick one up if she wants to. And what it does is it breaks her silhouette. Then her motto of coloration also aids to the extra camouflage. So when a predator comes past, it looks like the broken up pieces of the bark. So she'll just sit still, a baby, so please remain calm if this does happen. So whenever she is ready, please help us welcome out Amani, our southern ground hornbill. Welcome Amani. So you can see the nice pale color pouch over there. Now this shows that she is in fact still a juvenile. So she's about 2.5 years old at the moment. When she reaches the age of 8, that pouch is going to turn that beautiful red color. She'll also start to develop blue splotches in the pouch to show she is a female, whereas the males will stay completely red. So it's quite easy to tell the differences between the two. Now as she does a little bit of a walk for us over here, you might notice she's walking on her tippy toes. Now a hornbill can walk up to about 11 kilometers in a single day, just walking on their tippy toes, foraging for food. So the reason for the foot structure is of course mainly being on the ground, walking those distances. They then don't have to worry about rocks or even thorns, they can just go on their way. But at night they'll perch up in trees for safety, and in the early mornings they'll come down and they'll greet each other in a series of low booming calls. Thank you, Amani, at the attention that they're asking for. So I'm going to see if I can do a little bit of a walk in front of you guys and then up the stairs. So we're going to head over to the Amazon rainforest. So he'll be joining us from that window on that side. He is our military macaw. His name is Aaron. So whenever he is ready, he will be joining us. Welcome out, Aaron. Buddy. Oh. Yes, so now military macaws get their name from this green coloration, as the armies down in Brazil used to wear the same colored uniform. Now that's where the similarities then end. Macaws are incredibly intelligent. They've got the intelligence of a 5 to a 7-year-old child, but they live incredibly long lives and can easily reach the age of about 70 to 80 years. So having them as a pet is a lifelong commitment. Now they need to be stimulated mentally, physically, as well as socially. So the social aspect comes in with why we keep them in pairs or in groups, so they can practice a behavior known as preening. So what this is they'll clean each other's feathers to keep them in tip-top flying condition and nice and healthy. Now with the physical aspect, if you take a look at his feet, he's got 2 toes facing forwards and 2 toes facing backwards. Now these are known as zygodactyl feet, and what they aid with is the perfect grip out in the wild. So he can climb up vines sideways, hang upside down from trees just to get to his favorite foods. Even on this perch, he can lean 90 degrees forward without falling off. Hey, buddy. The other physical aspect is they're one of the few birds that enjoy flying for fun. They can easily cover up to about 200 kilometers in a single day, just soaring above the Amazon rainforest. Now with the mental stimulation, what we do with them is something called enrichment. So we'll take their favorite snacks, hide it in a barrel. I think he's done a fantastic job. Gonna head off backstage. She used to do a flighted routine. She is semi-retired for the moment now as well. She no longer flies, but she still enjoys coming out, sitting nicely on the glove to come out and see everybody. So when I say she's a golden oldie, she is 30 years old. Okay, so whenever she is ready, she'll be joining us from the left archway. Her name is Xavier. She is our jackal buzzard. Welcome, Xavier. So now out in the wild, your buzzards or your birds of prey tend to only live up to the age of between 12 and 15 years. So in captivity, they tend to live longer because they get free food and medical care. So we're not sure what the age limit is in captivity. So far, Xavier is showing us how old she can get. She is the oldest one in captivity so far. Now, jackal buzzards are local to South Africa. Now, they get the name jackal buzzard due to their unique jackal-like call that often gets mistaken as a black-backed jackal. Now, as they're sitting, perching as she is right there, it's quite difficult to identify a jackal buzzard, as there are 17 different color morphs when it comes to them. So they'll all have the red tail, so it's the easiest way to identify them. And then, of course, the orange feet and the black face. Unfortunately, when it comes to looking at the chest, this is where it gets difficult. So the jackal buzzards can either have more black, white, or red in that chest, making it more difficult while they're sitting. When they're flying, it makes it a lot easier. They all have white under their wings with a thin band of black. Now, the easiest way to tell the age of a jackal buzzard is to look at the color of their eyes. When a chick hatches, they've got very, very blue eyes, and as they mature, the eyes go from blue to the darker brown. So while they're still a juvenile, they start going gray. As soon as they hit sexual maturity, they're an amber-like color. And when they're classified as a full adult, they go brown. And then, like Xavier over here, they're that beautiful now chestnut color as she's fully matured. There you can see that wingspan there, and that's what a typical jackal buzzard would look like with their wings open. Now, they're mainly found in more mountainousy areas of southern Africa, so the best places to see them is along the Drakensberg Mountains or Cape Town. They're also one of the few birds that enjoy soaring. So what they'll do is they'll actually jump off the cliff faces when the wind's coming up just to soar in the wind. So most of your kites enjoy doing that. That's why they're called kites. They're the only buzzard that enjoy doing that. But I think Xavier's actually done an amazing job this afternoon. She's going to go off backstage. Spotted eagle owl will be joining us from the right archway. Please help us welcome out Gaia. Welcome, Gaia. So now you can see the nice differences. The first owl had those beautiful orange eyes, and she's got the beautiful yellow eyes. Now both owls are classified as medium-sized raptors, though Gaia is a lot smaller. What would be classified as a small raptor is anything half the size of Gaia. Now, owls are ambush hunters. Now, what this means is that they sit and patiently wait for their prey to come in close to them. So like I said, with the hearing and the sight, they'll watch it coming in. But if you take a look at the edges of their feathers, they've got little rifts on the end that look like the end of a comb. It's what gives the owl the fluffier appearance. So they'll sit up in a tree, wait for their prey to come in as close as possible, where they'll swoop down and grab it. Now, as they swoop down, the wind buffers between those rifts, creating silent flight. Now, they actually tested it with a series of microphones. What they did is they set up 7 microphones. They had an owl fly over them to see if one of the microphones would pick up an owl's flying. Not a single microphone picked up the sound of the owl in flight. That is how silent